everyone. Good to be with you today. Today we're in Acts chapter 22. It is AD 60 is the date. This is happening. Now, one thing you need to remember is the main reason why some Greek people from Asia were with Apostle Paul was because, if you remember, Apostle Paul was going from church to church and he was taking up offerings for the church at Jerusalem because there had been prophesied that there would be a famine. Okay, so these representatives from the churches in Asia, some of them were with Paul because they were bringing that offering as a representative. Okay, that's why he was with these Greek people. You know that Galatians. Let's look here. Galatians, Athens, Corinthians, Philippi, the Philippians, all that whole area. Paul had set up churches, and he'd asked for donations for the saints at Jerusalem. Okay, let's continue from chapter 21. This is where Paul addresses the Jewish people that wanted to tear him to pieces. He says, "Brethren and fathers, hear my defense, which I now offer to you." And when they heard that he was addressing them in Hebrew dialect, they became even more quiet. And he said, "I am a Jew, born in Tarsus of Cilicia, but brought up in the city, educated under Gamaliel." Gamaliel was a very prominent teacher of the Jewish people. Everybody knew who he was. There's no mistake about it. "Strictly according to the law of our fathers, being zealous for God, just as you all are today. I persecuted this way to the death, binding and putting both men and women into prisons. As also the high priest of all the council of the elders can testify. From them I also received letters to the brethren and started off for Damascus in order to bring even those who were there to Jerusalem as prisoners to be punished. But it happened that as I was on my way approaching Damascus about noontime, a very bright light suddenly flashed from heaven all around me, and I fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to me, 'Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?' And I answered, 'Who are you, Lord?' And he said to me, 'I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you are persecuting.' And those who were with me saw the light, to be sure, but did not understand the voice of the one who was speaking to me. And I said, 'What shall I do, Lord?' And the Lord said to me, 'Get up, go into Damascus, and there you will be told of all that had been appointed for you to do.' But since I could not see because of the brightness of that light, I was led by the hand by those who were with me, and I came to Damascus." Okay, so he was temporarily blinded. "A certain Ananias, a man who was devout by the standard of the law and well spoken of by all the Jews who lived there, came to me, and standing near said to me, 'Brother Saul, receive your sight.' And as that very time I looked up to him, and he said, 'The God of our fathers has appointed you to know his will and to see the righteous one and to hear an utterance from his mouth.'" So Paul was very privileged to see Jesus and to receive to receive a ministry from Jesus. In other words, Jesus told him, you're going to be working for me. For you will be a witness for him to all men of what you have seen and heard. Now, why do you delay? Get up and be baptized. Wash away your sins, calling on his name, Jesus. So Ananias, he didn't waste no time. He told him, get up, get baptized. It happened when I returned to Jerusalem and was praying in the temple that I fell into a trance. Okay, now he came back from Damascus. He's in Jerusalem. He's at the temple. He said he fell into a trance, and I saw Jesus saying to me, make haste, get out of Jerusalem quickly, because they will not accept your testimony about me. And I said, Lord, they themselves understand that the one synagogue after another I used to imprison and beat those who believed in you. And when the blood of your witness Stephen was being shed, I was standing by approving and watching out for the coats of those who were slaying him. So when Stephen was stoned, Apostle Paul was there condoning it. And he said to me, go, for I will send you far away to the Gentiles. So Jesus was sending him off to the Gentiles. They listened to him up to this statement. Then they raised their voices and said, away with such a fellow from the earth, for he should not be allowed to live. And as they were crying out and throwing off their coats and tossing dust into the air, these guys are really shook up. The commander ordered him to be brought into the barracks, stating that he should be examined by scourging so that he might find out the reason why they were shouting against him that way. But when they stretched him out with thongs, so they're getting ready to whip Paul, Paul said to the centurion who was standing by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man who is a Roman and uncondemned? When the centurion heard this, he went to the commander and told him, saying, what are you about to do? For this man is a Roman. The commander came and said to him, tell me, are you a Roman? And he said, yes. The commander answered, I acquired this citizenship with a large sum of money. So the commander thought that he paid to be a Roman. But Paul said, but I was actually born a citizen. Therefore, those who were about to examine him immediately let him go. And the commander also was afraid when he found out that he was Roman, and because he had put him in chains. But on the next day, wishing to know for certain why he had been accused by the Jews, he released him and ordered the chief priests and all the council to assemble, and brought Paul down and set him before them. That concludes the chapter. We're going to stop there. So now the Jews are going to have a chance to make their case. All right, we'll continue this next time. God bless you all. Good day.